I'm trying to get into a space of feeling comfortable on camera again, and I just can't help but pick out my flaws. Okay, my name is Amanda, if you have not seen me before. I am a human having a spiritual experience. No, actually, I am a soul having a human experience. And I'm sharing my experiences with you guys. With nothing to show for it. Just kidding. Okay. I'm just kidding. It's been about a month. I'm doing this because I not only feel called to, but it's stuff I love to talk about. So what better way to start bridging that to you than through YouTube? I was going through some of my old videos and I couldn't help but notice a lot of things about myself, and I'm sure a lot of us have went through this, especially starting out YouTube, which is what makes us a lot of times resistant to continuing. In this case, I realized how manic I am. Not just on camera. I try to be calm on camera. If you know me, I guess you will see I am actually like this as well. In the past couple of weeks that I have not posted a video, I kind of, I guess, was able to take a step back and notice some things that I guess would are helping me to get out of my own way. I'm a little shy. Pardon me. I feel like something shifted in me, as in I stopped caring so much finally about a lot of things. I didn't realize how much I actually cared about external opinions. But I'm a Leo sun, so it makes sense a little bit. I was raised in a way that made me crave attention because I barely got it. Not really any presents. So that's what I crave now. And I was noticing that I was brought up to people please. I think I spoke about this before. Even just the way that I'm talking right now, I'm like, who am I like expecting to watch me? Who's perceiving me right now? That I feel like I have to dim myself. I feel like I am dimming myself, honestly. If I'm being honest with you, it feels like I was brought up to only be okay to show a certain part of me. So I was always trying to present the best parts of me. But the reality is I'm a human. And what they say is there's like an angel and a devil on the shoulder. We all have that. And growing up, my little devil disguised itself as the angel and vice versa. Maybe not, I don't know. Maybe not vice versa. But I drowned out the voice of my intuition with the voice of fear, doubt, worry, insecurity. That became a louder voice. So because of that, not only was I brought up to believe that everyone hated me, that I was only being tolerated, that I was in the way, and that I was taking up too much space wherever I was. But I also manifested those situations because I believed that. And it only took, it took years for me to realize that. Only just recently have I come to acceptance, to being receptive of that truth. So what shifted in me is I feel like I took a step back from who I believe I was. I spoke about how Twitter had a big effect on my life, and ever since I talked about it, I feel like I was able to remove myself from it a lot more and detach from a lot of the things that used to pull me in. So it was nice seeing that talking about it helps, and also just being aware of things helps a lot. So I might be emphasizing things, repeating things a lot throughout my videos because I feel like repetition is key. It worked for me, and so I feel like anyone watching, it could help them too, help you too. Since that video, I've been a lot more focused on my real life. Not that Twitter and all that's not real, it's just like a whole different world that I don't want to really be engaged in as much as I was. it did not feel good. I wasn't going to sleep feeling good about myself. I wasn't waking up feeling content. I always just felt pulled in. And like, you know, it's really easy to want to just blame social media. Like I said, it's a really good tool as well. So I didn't delete my social media, but I just I temporarily put it on private, and I only tweet things that I feel like I want to tweet, I guess. I don't try to feel like I need to, like I have to put out things for the world. Like I don't want to feel that attachment to what I love. Like I love talking about this stuff, and I'm only going to bring up these topics if I feel inspired to, not compelled or pulled in. I've noticed a lot of times my ego tricks me into thinking I need to like correct some misunderstanding or something. Like I have to be the one, like, you know, we're all in our different spaces and some people have different philosophies than us, so I try to remember that. And in doing so, it's helped me to really focus on what I actually love. And it's like, if something rubs me the wrong way on social media, then I figure out what is the opposite of this that would make me feel inspired to change it. How do I like bridge the opposite of that energy into this world? My cats are messing around with each other, and it's kind of annoying. Since not being on social media as much as I used to, I noticed the drive and inspiration to spruce up my environment a little bit more. Not a little bit, actually. I kind of went all out. I was actually inspired to do Christmas decorations, which is rare. I mean, not really, I guess. This is only my second year or almost third year of being on my own with Austin, where we had our own Christmas tree, well, own apartment and home now. And our decorations are pretty light. Maybe I'll post a little small video or snippet about it. I like it so far. I was also inspired to do a lot more decorating in the house. We took some things down in the larger closet in our bedroom, so now we have a higher bar for our clothes to hang, which is cool because now we have a lot more space on the bottom. We had to make our home dog proof because in the past month alone, since Maya turned 1 year old, we've had about 5 pairs of sneakers chewed through. I can't even name, and I don't even want to try to focus on that. So it's been my like complete motivation and inspiration to make this house dog proof, because it does kind of affect me. I feel bad when I leave when I'm not like completely positive that everything is okay for the dog. So I've been trying to get in a routine. I've been kind of trying to get in a routine of waking up in the morning and getting ready in a nice comfortable pace to take her for a walk, so that I get that out of the way at least, so she's not too excessive in the morning, because otherwise she will jump all over us. She's a border collie, so she needs a lot of attention and exercise. She's intellectual as well, so I also need to get her some intellectual toys, stuff like that, to keep her stimulated, which is kind of like, honestly, given the person who I was, it's kind of a horrible thing, but taking into consideration the kind of person that I'm becoming and growing into, she's actually been like the best thing that's ever happened to me. Especially with my PTSD, I consider her like my daughter pretty much. I have somebody there at all times. I don't know, we all know that like when we have to take care of something, we tend to almost not forget about ourselves, but we feel an obligation to take care of them. I've been prone to feel depressed and suicidal, especially over the past 5 years. And so I just lost my train of thought. So yeah, she has helped me to kind of learn to reset more within me. It was a hard about 7 months when I got her. From then till now, kind of slipped into a depression because I didn't realize the responsibility that it was for a dog, which is kind of something that's a good thing to learn right now, I think. At 29 years old, I don't have children, so I consider like, wow, if I was to have a child right now, this might be that. Like I might be depressed and down like I was when I got my dog. It was like coming to a realization, like for so long I was manifesting a house. I was manifesting a place to call home. I didn't even realize that I'd get a house because I didn't think I was worthy of one. Honestly, I thought that that was going to be so far-fetched, but I remain loyal to the unseen reality, as Neville Goddard would have you say. And it's like when I got my dog, when we got the home and finally closed on it and moved in, I really didn't want to wait. It was a month it was like barely a month of moving in that I decided to get the dog, Maya. And we weren't finished unpacking our stuff. Well, I didn't realize how on it that I had to be with this dog, but it was a really great learning process. But the thing is, the point of me saying all this is that, like, I thought that, I guess I got scared that having what I thought I want, or having what I want, is going to make me feel the same way I felt when I got this lump sum of money, because that's what I thought I wanted. I wrote out a lot of manifestation journals and affirmations, but it's like, really, now that I look back, I can't believe, honestly, that I believed wholeheartedly that I was deserving of that I'd get that. And it did happen though, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, so I lost my train of thought again. I think this is a big lesson for a lot of us to learn and go through, especially at an earlier age in our life, is that there's no one thing that we can ever get that's going to make us happy. Like, we have to actually actively choose happiness and go out of our way, almost, not really in like a hard way, but in a consistent and like compassionate way. Like, you have to really want this for yourself, because when you think about it, we were really taught on default pretty much to think negatively. And so we could talk about the statistics if we want, but I'm not going to get there. So let's just say 20% out of our 100% thoughts are positive or conscious that we're aware of. 80% of it is what we were taught to be and do as a child. So it may seem hard, I guess. It might seem difficult at first to realize the essence of what that feels like. Basically, we're creators, so it's not anything external that's going to make us happy. It's what we create. It's the process itself of creating that brings us joy. It's feeling love. It is being, actually, it's being love. We are already love, but we are blocking ourselves from that love due to our programming. And we can get all like hateful and blamey. That's not a word, I know, but we can blame the past generations, which is also ourselves. But honestly, it doesn't do anything anymore. We have to actively understand that when we're brought up against resistance, it's showing us what we do want, in a sense, by showing us what we don't want. And we just have to know ourselves enough to, or just even understand what a human is. Like, we're born from a human who was probably not raised in a time where it was safe to cultivate the inner spirit, embody this aspect of source that we all are. It wasn't safe to do that. So by default, the human mind was in survival mode, and so there was a lot of fear-based programming being created. So a lot of envy, jealousy, hatred, condemnation due to religious beliefs and whatnot. So our parents probably were not raised to be enlightened or consciously aware of the nature of reality, and we were like kind of pulled into this consumerism, this society that we're in now. But I believe that it's going to grow into something that has never been before, and I feel like it was all meant to be. Now I'm getting all like spiritual and stuff, which I'm not, you know, mad about. I don't hide that part of me, obviously, but that's not the point of this. So basically, once I got this money that I was manifesting and did not expect, I pretty much thought that my problems were going to be gone, but I was still just as anxious, still just as fearful, worried, things that I didn't want to really be, or at least have control over my life. For some reason, I keep getting like brain farts right in between my sentences, like I don't even know what I'm talking about. It seems to happen sometimes. I'm also a stoner, as I have not hit before. But, oh yeah, basically, I think I'm more prepared now to get what I want, because I also know that I want presence, I want peace, and I have that. So I'm in the present moment. I realize the journey is just as great as the destination. And I found that once I started to let go of my attachments, started being more present in the moment, I began to feel more at peace and like learn that I love the present moment. Like I love actually just being and like engaging with my life. And so when I took that little break from social media, or semi-break, as you want to call it, whatever, basically I'm barely like even tweeting once a day compared to like my maybe 20 tweets or more, sometimes less obviously, but I feel a lot more secure in myself too. I found that there's people that I don't even know that I was looking for approval from subconsciously, and subconsciously some of them reminded me of like certain people from my past that I wanted approval from and not knowing. And once I like cut the cords of that, I found it a lot easier to just like release that from my mind. When I felt the urge to go on social media, I'd be like, what do I need right now? What do I think that social media is going to do for me? And usually I realize like Pinterest will come to me and I'll think, oh, I would love to look at things that inspire me, because I haven't been really inspired to do much actual art lately this past month since taking the hiatus. I guess there's not really this feeling of like needing to hurry and compete and be doing something every single day. On Twitter, you see that all day, depending on who you're following obviously, but for me, I'm an artist, so I see other people accomplishing all their goals and, you know, putting themselves out there, and then me, I'm just like, I was sick for about a week or two, and for some reason it was like really bad on my hips. I fractured my hips when I was in the army. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with it, but it was a very tough time. I was releasing a lot, I guess. I was stressing a lot, especially because finances recently, things have been kind of hard. Just moving into a home and getting situated with all these new things, it was a lot for me. So I just been trying to get into like just a routine of just living, like not worrying about anything pretty much. So I decided to not check my mail until Sunday. Has been like life-changing. A lot of times it's just stupid things that like would get handled, but it's just annoying to like go to your mailbox every day and see bills are due when they're due, even if it's like 2 weeks ahead. It's like, okay, I don't need to be reminded right now. I'm actually just trying to have a good day and to make sure that I'm in a good mood before I check the mailbox, because I don't need to be manifesting anything that I don't want. So that's an update. It's been like very refreshing. Who knows if I'm going to go back to the way that I was on social media. I'm realizing a lot of my whys, like why do I do this? Why do I do that? I've been taking more time out to observe and learn from more people, new people, getting out of my box, and learning to accept myself even when I fall short of my expectations. Trying to also give myself the space and time to write out my goals, even if they seem a little out of reach, or when my mind tells me that it's just too much, like don't even think about it. Like I'm gonna write it down, because whether or not I actually do it, it's still there. So I'm gonna go back to my to-do list or whatever, and I'm going to read it at one point And I found a new system too. I know you guys probably don't care about this, but if you're into manifesting and goal setting and to-do lists, this has been helping me. So I'll write down my to-do list, do the date and stuff, and whatever I don't get to finish throughout the day, I will start writing the next day in the next journal to do, and then I'll cross it off of the previous list so that at least the whole list looks to be done. So that has been like kind of life-changing, honestly, because sometimes all it takes is to be able to see proof of things, and you gotta trick your mind sometimes. So I'll know that, like, I did, like, let's say I did a list, I wrote a list of about 15 things and I completed 11. So I'll either highlight what I didn't do and then try to get it done before the night's done, and if I don't get that done, I will transfer it, but then I'll cross it out so it shows me that I did it all, and I'll know, like, okay, I got most of it done, so I don't really need to stress about these 4 things because it's been proven that I can get my shit done. So what's different about these goals? And like, that's honestly for anything, because like every goal has just action steps in between. So, and if I don't get to that goal, sometimes I'll revise it in the next day and break it down into 2 other steps, because why didn't I complete it in this step in this day? Maybe it's because I didn't refine it as much. So every day I've been completing the list, and it's almost feeling like magical, like Death Note kind of thing without the death. I'm starting to feel more like a witch in a loving way, not in the black magic kind of way. I'm kind of starting to own it. Like, life is starting to be more magical. Life is magical, and I'm a lucky person because I decided that I am. And it's not really luck, it's just I'm embracing being in the right place at the right time, as well as knowing that as long as I follow my intuition, I'm always given everything that I desire and want or need. And I try not to say need because that implies lack. But it's okay, because when I notice lack, I'll just, that's just it. It's showing me what I want. I'm getting a little manic, but it was interesting to talk about. If you like this video, please subscribe. I will appreciate it very much.